introduction was a bit kind of rushed and all that, so I'm going to go proper one this time. Our next guest is literally the voice of a generation. She was the original English voice of Ash Ketchum. And a million other roles that I can't think of right now because, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, please, raise the roof. Blow these walls off. For Veronica Taylor!
You guys are amazing. And to be here, thank you so much for coming. I cannot tell you how honored I am to be invited. And also with this turnout, I'm just blown away. I also haven't slept for quite a long time, as I'm sure many of you have not either. So, well, let's just see where this goes. I don't normally speak in front of such an amazingly creative and imaginative and exuberant group of people. But if you want me to call you that, I will, in the most positive way. So, I guess we're here to just chat. I'm Veronica Taylor. Most people know I played Ash on Pokemon in May, and Ash's mom, and April, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and, you know, yada, yada, yada. I like the Justin Bieber there. It's really disconcerting, but I'm so glad he came out. Amazing. So I don't know how these talks have been going. Do you want to start asking questions? And we can kind of go from there. Is that, I don't have any, hold on one second. Oh, if you want to form a queue, we can ask if that's the best way to do that. Or, okay, if that's a good way. That sounds good to me. Yeah, great. So I'm happy to answer questions. We can talk about whatever, wherever is convenient. If you have a loud voice, we can call. I don't know how. Yeah.
What's your favorite Pokemon?
My favorite Pokemon is Pikachu. Definitely, and I also really admire the woman who voices Pikachu. If you listen to Pokemon with just the Pikachu soundtrack, it's amazing what she can do with just that one word. And that also is why I love Pikachu. Yes? When we started on Pokemon, we all auditioned for the show and we're like, well, let's, see. I had worked on Slayers before that, which was an incredibly fun show to work on. But, we went to videotape at that time. And, so everyone was like, well, we'll see what happens with this show. I mean, who knows? And plus, Ash was named Casey in the beginning, and then he was named Ash, and we were going, Ash, I don't know, how is this gonna fly? But then we also were, and still are, working in a booth alone. So I would go to work and the engineer is there and the director is there and that's it. And we work away for hours on the show and then I go home. And then we come back the next day and we had no idea how it was even coming together. And then it came on, at least in the United States, at 6 a.m. Then it was moved to 6:30. And so we were all very excited, but at the same time, going to work in a little closet, essentially, we had no idea that anyone else was watching the show other than we who worked on it. So no, none of us knew at all that it would have such global appeal. But I think a show like this, where it really is about friendship and about trust and working together, and even, especially for Ash, who I think is always so positive, and no matter what the situation is, he doesn't say, oh, we'll never make it. He says, how can we work through this? And I think that's one of the reasons it has such global appeal. Also, the fact that no one's parents understood the show. And so you had this way of coming together with people from all over the world, and your own secret language in a way, which I think was amazing. Yes?
What does it feel like being home on the back day of Zoom?
Well, it is really quite overwhelming. I have to say that, you know, especially Ash is one of the characters that I've really held closest to my heart, and I really believed in him and kind of lost myself in him. And so the fact that he was so positive made me more positive and made me start thinking more about how my actions affect others. And I think also, I don't work on the show anymore, but it makes me think about what else can I create that can possibly encourage creativity and imagination, which you guys all have, but so many kids don't. And so I'm constantly trying to figure that out, and that was germinated with Ash. So, and I thank all of you. I mean, gosh, I just did my best, you know? So thank you for, I guess, appreciating it. Who has the mic? That sounds good. Okay, thank you. Okay, you.
What was it like being Ash and Delia and May and Diglett at the same time? You know, one episode, you have to work loads.
Yeah, well, you know, it all depends on how many lines we would have. So on shows where there were a lot of guest characters, I would have fewer lines. But we always, because we're dubbing, we're you know, syncing to the lip flap, we would go through the whole show. I'd go through as Ash, and then I'd go back and do all of May. And then, so I never had to, sorry, and then I never had to do the lines simultaneously. Other shows I work on, if we do it prelay, which is without the picture, you have to switch characters line by line. But with this show, we could go your whole character all the way through. So it wasn't bad, and I hate to say, but I love having scenes with myself. Super fun. Yeah, so it was good. Who has the mic? Okay, go ahead.
How did it feel coming back to work on the 4th and 5th season of Slayers after such a long time had passed since the 3rd?
Well,
They got all the original actors back.
yeah, it was amazing. And Slayers was such a fun show, and especially playing Amelia, who, seriously, her voice is so high that it would give me a bit of a buzz, you know, and I would walk out of work just kind of floating on air. And to be able to come back to that show was really a gift and super fun. But we compacted it into such a short amount of time. When we first did this series, we kind of, I don't know, maybe we did 2 episodes a week, kind of, and it spread out. Here we did many all at once. There was someone who did Amelia before me. Yeah, I don't know who it was. I don't know, I think she moved away. And then I just auditioned for it and got cast in it. So I don't know who it was because she doesn't live in New York anymore, so I never met her. I probably should have looked into that. But yeah, it was really, really fun. Yeah, we would bump into each other coming and going, so it was nice. It would be nice if we had kind of a party and watched it all together, because I haven't seen the final version of it yet. But oh yeah, thank you. It was really great. Oh, thanks. That was definitely due to Funimation really putting the effort into doing it, because I think they did a Slayers before where they used other people. So I don't know. I didn't listen to it. Yes.
Do you think Ash and friends are kind of stupid if they still fancy for Team Rocket's disguises?
I think Ash and his friends are stupid because they can't see through Team Rocket's disguises. Well, no, I'd have to say no. Because, you know, we suspend your disbelief. But also, I think down underneath it, there's some sort of weird challenge that they all rise to, that competition. Don't we all have that competition in our lives where we still kind of, you know, try to one-up our brothers or sisters or best friends or some things like that? So I don't really look at it that way. I think I just see it as, oh, not again, like in Scooby-Doo. You know, they always go and find something, if not for those silly kids. So no, I don't think so. Yes?
Any tips for people who want to break into voice acting?
I think, first of all, if you want to be a voice actor, I think you really need to want to be an actor. It's hard to be, first of all, it's hard to be just a voice actor because there's just not that much work, and it's hard to get into it. But secondly, if there's anything you want to do other than be an actor, you should definitely do that. Because the highs are high. When you're working on something like Pokemon, amazingly fun. And yet, there's so many lows of not working, and you know, you have to find a way to buoy yourself. But especially for voice acting, you're working just with this. So you have to, when you're on stage, you have your whole body and you know, all this, but you have to funnel that all into here. And you have to find a way to show exertion and emotion, all without doing anything else. So for me, all of the speech classes, all of the movement classes, the voice, the Shakespeare, all the things I did before that, plus touring, plus, you know, shows, all of that kind of all comes together. And then I'm constantly learning as well. So I think if you want to be a voice actor, the simple answer is act. Do as much as you can in that field. Even reading books to children in the library, going, you know, doing anything you can, doing your friend's answering machine, taking acting classes, all of that stuff. Do as much as you can to see if you really like it, and then you're always honing your skills. Sure? Yes? I think my favorite Pokemon ever was the first movie, because I loved, I still cry at the part where, you know, Ash, they bring everyone back to life, and all that at the end is just so, I don't know, I haven't seen it for a while, maybe I should watch it this weekend. But, did you? I love that movie, and it's just so pure, and it's almost before Nintendo, Pokemon really figured out, oh my god, we could really expand on this. It was just that. Just the essence of Pokemon. That's what I love. Yes? My favorite episode? I know, and you know, part of it is, I love the battle scenes. I love to throw myself into that. But I also love when Ash got really emotional, or, you know, when he had those scenes with Pikachu, or when he set Butterfree free, amazing, you know, stuff like that. Those really, I still remember. But I guess that, where you can really find that humanity in it, in a cartoon, essentially, because I think everyone who worked on Pokemon really threw themselves into it, and you can really believe that they're real characters, at least I can when I'm watching it. So that's kind of what I loved the most. How do I get out of that one? I love them all. Yes?
When you were playing, did you get offers before your?
You know, I became Ash when I was there. So no, and I actually, when I watch the show now, I watch it kind of separated. Like, oh, isn't he cute? Or I love it when Ash does that. And I don't really see it as myself so much, oddly enough. But I don't know, I could easily much more become him, you know, and kind of get into that. So no, and also no one's really watching me anyway. If people were sitting around, I think I might be more self-conscious, because I tend to, you know, if I'm throwing something, I have to throw it, or I'm, you know, I really wouldn't want to be videotaped doing something, because, you know, if you're, it's just too embarrassing. For that I would be, but playing Ash, no. Because I think he represents us all, so he is that everyman, and so he represented me in the sense of being in that, so I didn't think of myself as a boy specifically, but I did fight more than I do in my girl life. I don't know who has it. Okay.
Hello?
Yeah?
Should Veronica be in Pokemon tournaments?
Should Veronica know what the Pokemon tournaments are? I don't know what that is. Is that here? What's that?
If they're here.
Pokemon game.
Oh. I just flew in. I didn't know. I hadn't even seen the schedule. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what goes on there. You have to fill me in afterwards. What's that? Thank you. Okay.
Who would be your favorite Team Rocket member?
Oh, they've got to be together. I think definitely. You can't have one without the other. I think. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to separate the two of them. Well, I think of Jesse and James together. So then, how about if I say Meowth then? Yeah.
Love me for my impression.
Oh, you have. Go ahead.
Just wondering, which voice in all of the films has been most challenging to find?
Well, as far as the most challenging, you know, a lot of the, for instance, with Ash, we got to hear what the original characters sound like in Japanese before we auditioned. And so I think probably that voice is the most difficult because Ash's voice for me is placed back in the throat, and in a way, you can't fully breathe because he's hey, great to see you guys! Awesome to be here in Dublin! That's the hardest to sustain for over a long period of time. If I don't breathe, you know, that's probably the most difficult. Because other ones are high, and that's not so bad because I can pop it up. You know, it's not really in here where you, as any of you know who do voices, if you're growling around in here, you don't use the most, you're not the most vocally hygienic, and you can hurt your throat. So with Ash, I have to kind of move it around so that it doesn't scrape together. As nice as that sounds. Yeah?
I'm very curious. What's your favorite Pokemon not including Pichu, Pikachu, or Raichu?
Well, then I'm gonna say Lapras because I loved how they got to ride on him around, and otherwise I love them all the same. Charmander, Charizard, Charmander, I know. Go ahead. Okay, Meow.
Is it on?
Yes, it is.
Hey. Okay. So, do you ever look yourself up on, you know, like Wikipedia or Google yourself or something like that?
I have.
All the creepy fact fiction.
I haven't seen any of that. I'm not really on my computer very much, but I did get an iPad, so maybe I'll be on it more. But I have, because sometimes my credits aren't right, or also I can't believe people have put credits there. So I have looked at that before. Yes?
What is your opinion of the fact that Ash is still 10 years old after?
Hey, well, look at Bart Simpson. 20 years. 25? How long has that show been going on?
30 now.
What? He's 50 years old. He's so... What's that? Oh. Good point. Well, then, in that sense, I think he embodies the child in all of us that always remains the same. He is that youthful exuberance that we all have. And he sure wears a baseball hat well. Yes, Ash? What's the strangest thing that's ever happened to me at a convention? Well, to be honest, walking into a place where people recognize me and it matters to them. When I'm at home, it really doesn't matter to anyone. So that's that wigs me out every time. But other than that, I've had amazing experience. This is kind of a dud answer, I guess, because I really enjoy meeting people and hearing, you know, what they have to say. I'm amazed by how everyone gets along and can talk about different shows, and so nothing really weird has happened to me before. I might have to think about that some more, but unfortunately for this, only good things.
Which girl character would be perfect for Ash at this moment?
Wait, say that again. Which?
Which girl character?
Who would be a perfect girlfriend for Ash? Who's 10? I'm just saying. I'm gonna. I don't know if I could condone his dating, but I do like his friendships, and I thought, you know, I think May was a great character. I do think she storyline-wise, got a little ripped off because she always had to whine and she never really got to kind of find her power, whereas May came in and was able to just, you know, be herself, and she just did her thing, and maybe because her brother was there, I don't know. But I think they complemented each other, and they complemented Ash, you know, within what was going on in the series. I can't say I would think one was better to date. That just creeps me out. Oh, yeah. I can't see you. Where is Waldo? I'm just joking. Go ahead.
Where's Ash's dad?
Well, we've been wondering that. No one ever said anything about that at all, although we all joked that it was Giovanni. But maybe Professor Oak, but then he'd be related to Gary. But I don't know. I know, that would be too much. It would explain a lot. But you know, no one ever said anything about his dad. It is one of those unsolved mysteries. And maybe Pokemon keeps going and going, in like 20 years we'll find out. Yeah, that's right. Yes. What's my favorite color? Blue. Purple coming in a very close second. Maybe purple, then blue. No, I'm going to say blue. Let's go. Do I win something? Is that like a con thing? Are there a lot of blues here?
Yes.
Then definitely blue, definitely blue. The mic's coming your way, you guys. Yes?
More recently, you voiced Cosmos in the Disney Final Fantasy games. And did you get to talk with any of the other voice actors there, like Keith David?
No. I was alone. I flew in, I worked, and I flew home. We did it in California. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't, but they were on the phone to Japan. So. But no, no one. And I don't have any video games, so I don't even know what it looks like. It's so sad. Well, my daughter has one, but you know how that goes. My little brother had one, I never got to play that. Now my daughter. But one of these days I'll play, I think. Yeah, I do have a DS. I didn't bring my DS. That's not a DS. That's old school. Oh, wow. Wow, yeah, I've seen that. We have that. It fits in the DS. We have red. Okay. Whoever has the mic knows. Okay.
Would you say Pikachu is Thunderbolt's?
Yeah. Pikachu, use Thunderbolt! That feels really good. I really miss Ash. Yes. The first movie. Do Vikings really come from Minnesota? They do now with their football team. But I don't know how to answer that. Yes? Was that in the first movie? Oh, you see, I don't really pay attention to them. I think of them as a unit, but I don't really care about them. It's my scenes. And even those lines I don't quite remember, but, okay. Did I answer that?
Follow his mother's advice and watch his underwear every day.
Well, that would be a very personal question to answer. I'm going to let you imagine whether he has clean or dirty underwear on. I would not dare to reveal any of those secrets. I'm not sure what's in his backpack, but she didn't put laundry detergent in there. Yes. Squirtle's back. That's not abusive. It's a turtle-ish. Who has some more? Oh, yes.
Does it ever annoy
I can hear you.
Does it ever annoy you that besides Darjeeling, Ash has never won a Pokemon tournament? He just keeps on losing constantly.
He's never won a Pokemon tournament?
Yeah, besides
You
Darjeeling.
see, in my mind, I thought he won a lot. He hasn't actually won? This is really disappointing to me. He won the Orange League. Is that nothing? You know, I guess that just proves that perseverance is what matters. I actually didn't realize that. I thought he lost a little bit, but then ended up winning a lot. I'm gonna have to go back to it. No, it doesn't bother me then. Not at all. Yes?
What's the deal with Ash's mom and Mr. Mime?
Well, first of all, everyone should have a Mr. Mime in their house. I'm wondering that myself, because whenever she's always coming out of the kitchen and Mr. Mime is there, and I'm not quite sure how that whole thing worked out.
Your mom is Ash's mom.
I can't really think about that. Ash talks a lot, so I'm not so sure that Mr. Mime could really be his father. But Ash does wear gloves. So, I don't know. I don't know. We should probably end that. But I think it's a great thing that she has that helper. Then she can go off with Professor Oak on picnics and, whatever. Yes. Do you? All right, tell me one of them. What was the question? Do I know any Pokemon pickup lines? Is that something that people talk about? I've never heard that. Very suave. Do you know one, really? Nice. Is that on a Valentine? If you were a Pokemon, I'd choose you. I like that. I'm gonna work on that. That's really, that'll give me something to do on the flight home. That's fantastic. Of all the characters I voiced, who's the hardest? I think Ash was probably the most vocally difficult, but the most fun to do. And same with Amelia. At one point, Amelia from Slayers, I was doing sometimes that same day. And so it was great to go from hey, let's go out over here, and to, this is so amazing! So it was nice to switch from there. One time when I was doing His and Her Circumstances, I played Yukino in that series, and there was one part where Yukino was screaming as she went down this spiral, whatever thing, and it went on for quite some time. And I made the mistake of doing it all on one breath, and then fainted. So that probably was the most physically difficult. I did get right back up again. And then, in a studio, you just have the window. So I was in front of the mic, and then I wasn't. And I was back up. So that's the oddest thing that ever happened to me while recording. Otherwise, sometimes we're working on a show called Tai Chi Chasers right now for 4 kids, and that's coming out in the fall. And I play a character called Tori, and who's odd. He's a little boy and very hyper. But the thing is that we've kind of worked on it. We started it, and then we had a long time, and then we started it again, and to figure out who that character is, because he's very hyper, but he still has real emotion and actually has to be serious sometimes, and to try to figure out who he is and where his voice will be, that's been the most difficult, because nobody really knows. So we've been trying to figure it out along the way. Yes?
Yes,
Why is that playing Ash Ketchum?
Why did I stop playing Ash? The Pokemon USA decided that they weren't renewing the contract with 4Kids, and at that point, they wanted nothing to do with anyone who had worked on the show before. So basically, we were getting ready to do that 10th anniversary special, and the scripts had come in, and we were kind of getting like, we're going to start next week, and then we were told we're finished. And so we finished off the season. I think we had maybe 3 more episodes to do, knowing that that was the end. And then that's really been it. They've not had any contact with me, and I certainly would love to continue playing Ash, but that's not been a choice I've ever had. So, I know, it's so sad. It is sad. Oh, thank you. But that's why they kind of decided they were going to do it on their own, so they got sound alikes and just pushed forward. Sadness. Happy question?
When was the exact moment that you realized that Pokemon had become a global phenomenon that was?
I think we started Pokemon auditioning in the beginning of 1998, and we finished the first season by Christmas of 1998. And it had started going on TV the fall of '98, maybe here too, but at least in New York, and I guess in the United States. So probably closer to Christmas, we realized that we were going to stay on the air, and that we were going to have a second season. So, and then I would walk to like this Japanese store near the studio that had all this stuff, and they were carrying little Pokemon things. And then I started seeing other things like that, and then I heard some people talking about it. So maybe by the time the first movie came out, then I realized that it was big. Because at that time, we had an amazing box office for that. That was a year later at Thanksgiving. And for those first 3 days, we had like, I don't know how much money, but ticket prices were less than. So it was pretty exciting that so many people went. Thank you all for going. And so I think then I realized that. Because as an actor, you never know if you're going to have a job, I don't know, from one day to the next. And so the fact that I was on for another season, and then another season, and, so it was kind of gradual. Yes?
What is your opinion on the theory that the entire series of Pokemon is Ash Ketchum's dream after he was knocked unconscious by Pikachu in the very first episode? Every single character is unconscious, trying to wake him up.
Wow, I love that idea. Did you guys hear that? I love the idea, and then that would mean that I would have to be there for the final episode when Ash wakes up. That's just an actor trying to get a job, really. But I think that's really cool. So Bob Newhart kind of really did that. Yes, Ash.
Have you, or will you ever, catch them all?
Well, at this rate, with how many they keep adding, I don't think anyone can catch them all. But I sure think Ash is going to keep trying, that's for sure. No, that's right. I'm sorry. Well, it's not my choice at all. They would have to actually have me back, and that's not something they've ever, how do I say it, done anything about it. So I would love to play Ash. I would jump at the chance, but I haven't had the chance. Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
We know that you already did before, but could you do Pikachu, I Choose You, in Ash's voice, please?
Sure. Another coffee break? No, you guys are ready. My goodness. Pikachu, I choose you!
Hi. I was wondering, No matter if you say or Pikachu, who do you think will win in a battle, like all together against the elements? Blastoise, Charizard, or Raichu? Because they all counter each other.
Who would win? That's a hard one for me. You know, I'm not as skilled as you all are at knowing who really could beat whom. I think I would just pick Charizard. That's simply because I like him. I don't know. You guys know. Who do you think would win? Really? That was a good guess? Really? Oh, I still got it. You know, what people hire me for, I can't control. So some people really want a variation of Ash's voice. And so, no, I mean, I try to put a different flavor on it. I mean, some people say, oh, just do that Ash voice. Do that voice you do. You know, something like that. Which I really try not to do, something like that. But ultimately, I try not to just, like, oh, I'll just do Ash and no one will notice. And actually, I haven't seen it, so I don't know what happened with that game, which came out a while ago, right? I didn't do it on purpose if it sounded a lot like Ash. Yes?
Two questions. The
Okay.
first one is, seeing all the Pokemon cosplayers in the room, do you feel the urge to catch them?
No, I just want to get everyone together and take a big picture.
Okay.
But no, I would never catch them, nor would I touch them. Just want to say. No, but it is pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. I'll capture them in a photo. Yes.
Second question is, what was your favorite moment in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
In Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I love when April finally gets to do something, you know? Because I kind of hate when she's scared or just sitting behind the computer. I mean, it's good that she knows how to do that kind of stuff, but so does Donatello, so, you know. But I like when she can be kind of one of the gang and not saved by Casey, or, you know, so that because in the old Ninja Turtles, she was much more, I don't know, yeah, but she always, to me, watching the old show, I thought she kind of could hold her own, and I didn't like it when she didn't do that. And she's, you know, she's the only girl really in the show for a long time, and there's some bad girls in it. But I thought she needed to be a stronger role model, so that's the parts that I liked when she actually got to do something. Unfortunately, that's mostly fighting, you know. But I wasn't crazy about her marrying Casey. Although he's a great guy. I just thought, oh, do we have to go there? You know, can they just, you know, work together? But otherwise, you know, I like it when she's much more powerful.
Someone made a joke trailer for a live-action Pokemon movie. Have you seen it, and if so, what do you think of it?
A live-action I can hear you, but I don't know what it is. So no, I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay. It's a joke trailer someone did for a live-action Pokemon movie.
Oh, yeah? I'll have to watch that. Thank you for telling me. I should probably kind of troll around the internet more. But, what's that? No, I mean troll like I'm out fishing for stuff. You troll. Sure you did. No, what is that? Is that a bad thing to say? I meant like fishing. What? He does? That's a real word on the internet? On the interweb? No, I did not know that. I so apologize for anyone who has that on videotape. That's not what I meant. I use it as a fishing, like you surf the web, you fish. Ask my about the show, but I don't know anything about the peripheral because I never spent any money on any of those things. So, yeah, and thank you very much. Kept the show going. Nintendo, thanks you. But I don't know any of those things because as an actor, I couldn't just do Pokemon. I have to keep looking for work and going to work and finding any job I can. So just to pay my rent. So I never really played any of the games because I was just going to some other job. But I'd like to play it because I'd like to see why it's so great. You know. I know we're on this tournament thing. Yes. What's that? What's that? Oh, fine. Thank you. I have to brush up on my Gaelic. I'm going with Mango Languages and working on some Gaelic, some Irish. Charge color? Color? Charge color. Oh, I'm alright. Charge color. Charge color. It's close enough. Oh, okay. I'm gonna write. I can't write that down. I don't know how to spell it. I will write it. Yes. Because Pikachu wasn't one of them. Right. Squirtle, Charmander, or Bulbasaur. If I had to pick one of those. Maybe I have to go with Bulbasaur. Charmander's always been my favorite one, other than Pikachu, because I have a lizard, so that's the closest to a lizard, and I had to. Everything has to do with something at home, so. Thank you. Yes.
This might be a positive controversy, but what do you think, or do you have an opinion on the idea that a Marowak evolves into Genghis Khan?
Marowak evolves into Genghis Khan?
What is this
blasphemy? You're gonna have to take it over the room, I think. That I've not heard. I was just thinking of Genghis Khan the other day, because that Genghis Khan runs through my head all the time. Oddly enough. But otherwise, that whole Marowak thing, I don't know.
Can you do the Diglett song?
What's that?
We'll do the sing along.
Okay, is it no, did you say the Diglett song?
Diglett song.
Isn't it Diglett, is that it? What is it? What is it? Who knows what it That's it, right? And then they just duplicated it. But thank you for whoever has the mic should start talking, because I don't know. Oh, okay. Do you want the Pope's back?
The opportunity to live in one of the worlds of Pokemon, Johto, Kanto, etc. Which one would you choose to live in? And the reason why?
I might go with Orange Islands because of the colors. But also, things were simpler there and more lush. Like they found more berries and things like that, and it seemed like It was a bit more, what's that? More in touch with nature. I think I would go with that. And plus, I don't see many stars in New York City, so I think there's a more chance to see stars in the Orange Islands. And I do like islands, hence arms. So I'm gonna go with that. And I live on one, Manhattan.
Okay, question is, as a woman, how have you felt being a woman has affected or anything your career in acting or voice acting?
Yeah, well, I think definitely there are many more roles for men than women. And I think, I feel like people criticize women more than they do men for their work, for their auditioning, for, oh no, you can't play that, things like that. And although I work with amazing people who I have gotten some amazing chances to audition for something or to play certain roles, I think things are a bit more limited for women, acting-wise and voice acting-wise, which I try to break through. But I do think that on the outset, I don't think people think to give women the same chance they think to give men. Luckily, I've had a chance to play different voice parts, so I've had a wider range and maybe more opportunity.
You keep writing that class wall.
Thank you. But you know, it's all opportunity. It's all just being in the right place at the right time. And yeah, I do think that's difficult. Like Ash, I try to, push through and not let that stop me from doing. Or if I'm at an audition, I say, I could also try this role or something, just because it's not in this, what I'm speaking in now. I could, So I try to do that, but I think it is different, definitely, unfortunately. Yeah.
Do you know the Pokemon theme song? And
No,
if so,
no,
sing along.
no. You can sing it though, I'd love to hear it, but no, I don't know it. Maybe I sing it. Okay, what kind of, 1, 2, 3. Running with the Pikachu. I love that. That was great, guys. Thank you. Yes.
Is this on?
Yes.
What? I'm not typing. What's your favorite sweet?
My favorite sweet?
Yeah.
Candy.
Yes, I know. I'm thinking. Well, I was going to say chocolate. But I would say, oh no, not Lucky Charms. You guys, artificial color, artificial flavor. I don't know what's in that genetically mutated wheat, what's in that, at least in the United States. I know. Marshmallows. No, I'm a Weetabix eater, I'm a Kashi eater. Sweet, I would say chocolate, maybe toffee, or caramel pop. I make really good caramel pop. I should have brought some. Is that, yes?
Ash going against Gary O, did you always feel pumped about it, or did you just didn't know when you voiced it?
When I was fighting Gary as Ash, I loved to fight Gary. Because I just, you know, because he's just so full of himself. And I really just, plus he has his own cheerleaders. And I think he might be 11. He seems a little bit older. Not sophisticated, but definitely those, because I always really, you know, you want to kind of stay above it all and keep some respect, but I just always wanted to beat him. He's a loser, yes. Have I watched the new episodes of Pokemon? Yes, I've watched partially one of the 10th anniversary special and I cried. And then it was so weird to see a different voice coming that I just couldn't handle it. And then I have seen it, I haven't watched the whole episode, I've seen a little bit, but it's too much for me. And so, no, I think the people who took over the roles have had a lot to, you know, when you take over the role that someone else has done for 8 years, there's a lot to take on. But I think from the bits I've seen, I just think the show has kind of lost heart. You know, the episodes just don't have no, it's not. And so that I just don't, it's very hollow. And so that's just, but I'm just saying, for me, it's not what I enjoy. But it's too hard for me to separate myself from those characters. Yes?
How you doing?
Good.
Let's get down to brass tacks here.
Okay.
Pokemon is basically, you know, children, 10-year-olds going out trapping animals and making them fight for their own amusement.
That's right. And living on their own. And only eating hamburgers all the time or something. Rice. Unless they're in the wood berries.
I mean, so
yeah.
What was that like when you read the script the first time? Because, I mean, that had to be what it looked like.
Well, you know, there's many weird things that I have done anime-wise, and you really can't think about it literally, I don't think, because otherwise it's like, why are these people doing any of these things? You have to just kind of throw yourself into, this is why, and then just, I don't know, I haven't put much thought into it because it would be really strange. And also the fact, really, that Ash's mom sends him out with, don't forget to change your underwear. Not like he has no cell phone, he can't ever call home, see you when you get back, you know? I mean, all of that, whatever. Yeah, it's kind of, no parent would let their child go, even around the block on a bike sometimes, let alone go off to some islands with their friends. So I can't really think about it so much. Yes?
My question is basically about Shaman King.
Shaman King?
Yeah. For all anime, we go through just our lines. So for all of that, literally, we walk in, they hand you the script for the day, you go in the booth, and we just start recording. So I have to kind of skim down through what other people have done and figure out what's going on in the scene and then figure out how my line would come out. So sometimes I had no idea. Oftentimes I have no idea what goes on because I only have to know what's going on in my scene, and it depends on who's directing. Some people will tell you, this episode is about this and this and this. Other people go, go. You know? So I don't know that I could tell you much about Shaman King, but my character had that great heart purse that she carried around a lot. Other than that, I don't quite know what happened, but I did like working on the show. Yeah. Did you like the way Dinosaur King didn't have as much episodes as Pokemon did?
Dinosaur King was a really cool show in that we really did get to learn a lot about dinosaurs. For whatever reason, what's that?
Can't beat Pokemon.
It can't beat Pokemon. And though every show, new show, tries to. I mean, in a sense, Pokemon kind of set the bar and gave this format, and everything else tries to fill in, not as successfully.
Dinosaur King, I think, was... We, dubbing it into English, are limited because the script is already kind of there. But I thought it would be great if we could really talk about dinosaurs, really learn something about it in the episode, and there just wasn't enough flap to do that. So that show just ended. I did like working on it though. That was a pretty neat show. And that was right after Pokemon left, so that was definitely like a, Ash knockoff voice for that. Yes?
If you could voice any character from any anime, who would you pick?
If I could voice any, well, I love the ones that I do voice. I don't know if I have any, I don't have any specific ones that I would take over from someone else. But what I do like is a big range, to go from like some old lady to some tiny baby to some 10-year-old boy to some evil lady. If I can do that some days, if I have that in different shows, that's a great day for me. But I don't really look at any other show. I wish I was originally on the original Speed Racer. See you later. I wish I was originally in the Speed Racer cast. I would say that. I love that show. Yeah. But I wouldn't take it from someone. Yes?
Out of all the junior battles that you voiced Ash in, which for you was the best?
Of the battles? To be quite honest, because of everything, I don't know that I could tell you a specific one. But what I did like was where the tension drew out for a longer time, but also when it had to, and this is a holy procession. Thank you guys for coming. See you later. Please, anyone that does need to leave, please don't feel badly about going. I don't mind. Don't everyone leave at once. But I love it when there's a real competition, and then also he has to call on friends and they all work together. That's the part that I like the most. Yes?
You sing May's Lullaby, please?
Oh, I don't know it. May's Lullaby?
Yeah.
I have no idea what it is. Because... What's that?
The Jirachi Film.
I don't know what it is, because I don't think I've even seen Jirachi. I was May, but that was like, I don't know, 7 years ago, I think. But I don't know what it is, because if we did it right in that moment. I don't think I could have sung it for you an hour afterwards, because you've heard it, I think, but I have no idea I have no concept of what it was, even. Otherwise I would. I'm so sorry. But like a lot of the stuff that we work on, it's just right there, like, well, just do this, try a little this, and seriously, an hour later, I couldn't have repeated it, because it was just in that. I'm sorry. Where he turns the stone. Oh, into stone. Wait, how did I feel in that moment? Well, some of those moments are certainly much more emotional. Like, that's the things where you have to kind of stop for a minute because I tear up and then I sound like I'm crying, But that was really a powerful thing to record, moments, And then also watching it, I think I watch it with the emotion that I felt when I was doing it. So, is it? Oh gosh, we have to go in a minute. So yes, definitely very much in that moment. Go ahead. Rock, I would think, was like, maybe that's never been said, but I would guess like 12, maybe 13, 12 going on 13. I don't know, but I don't know, because I don't ever talk about those characters. Do we have one more? Yeah.
Favorite catchphrase or lines from Pokemon and point of view is
I think my favorite, I love when Ash says, "Aw, hey buddy, how's it going? Great job, Pikachu. You deserve a good long rest."